So in order to repair the inside of the front chassis leg, I've had to take the radiator out. This is the bottom of the radiator bracket, which is rather rusty, and there's an even more rusty chassis leg behind that, which I'm going to have to deal with. But I thought, since I was having to take the radiator out, I might as well do a video about it. Radiator, just like on any other car, it just sits between two brackets on either side at the front here, and it incorporates oil cooler and a transmission cooler, so it just has a little bit of extra pipe work compared to a radiator that just does the engine. But anyway, let's see how we get on. So 19mm nuts for the drain, and it is just, I don't know if this varies at all by model, but this is a 1984 50 SL, and it is on the right hand side as you're looking at the car. Now it's not draining particularly quickly, but I'm just going to let it drain until it stops basically, and we don't have to get everything out of the system in order to do this. I just need to get enough out of the radiator such that I can take the radiator out of the car without coolant just flying everywhere. Right, just while that's still draining, I'm just going to take this top clip off. This is just for the expansion tank, so it shouldn't be too much behind that. Just get this bit in. I'll probably just take the top hose off as well. There shouldn't be, if a bit of stuff comes out of the top hose, I'll just drop that down in the gap between the engine and down below. So just carefully take that off. So I'm just going to skip ahead a bit now, actually, because I'm going to take that off. I'll leave the bottom ones for now. But essentially, the manual says to get the drain going, disconnect everything, and then take the fan shroud off. I'm going to just take that off and then look to unbolt the fan shroud, because I think the fan shroud should come off without having to take any of the bottom things off just yet, and I'll just leave that till last once hopefully that coolant has stopped draining out. Yeah, it's starting to look a bit brown now, so yeah. So the best way of undoing this metal pipe at the top here is to hold on to the pipe and then turn the spanner that way, i.e. anti-clockwise. So the fan shroud, which is this big thing around the fan, just is held on by these two little 8mm bolts on either side, and then it's kind of clipped in place at the bottom. So I'm just going to undo the second bolt here, and then we'll see. I'm not exactly sure how tight the clips are, how they work. I will investigate that in a moment. Yeah, so she's loose, and those clips, I think they just unclip, and then so that can then just hang out there. I'll just rest it on top of the fan, along with the pipes, and now I've just got to do the bottom hoses, and then we can wrestle her out, I think. Now I can see already we have a bit of a problemo so far as that Jubilee clip is, the screw head for that is completely rusted out. So I might just have to cut that off. Yeah, so I'd actually, the end of the Jubilee clip, the little nutty thing on the end was, I think, 7mm. I went to try that. I mean, it doesn't normally sort of work, because quite often when you find the Jubilee clip is too sort of much flex for you to be able to apply much torque through the nut, but the band just snapped after just applying a bit of force. So I'm just going to carefully take that off without catching anything else. Slowly lever it and off out the way. Yeah, so just unbolted that one. So that one is for the oil cooler, I believe. So you're going to lose a little bit of engine oil out of that. just something to maybe remember to top it up a little bit after reinstalling the radiator. Now this guy here is proving a bit of a pain, because although the nut has undone and is backing off the thread okay, the pipe is twisting with it. So I'm just going to try and grip the pipe with some mole grips or something just on the metal sort of crown on the end. So actually, yeah, that's worked quite well. Just grip that metal end on the connector with the mole grip. Just hold it still and then continue to rotate the nut off the thread into the bottom of the radiator. And then final nut. It's just on next to the drain hole here, and get the same again, 19mm nut. Hold the end of the flexible hose with the mole grips and just turn slowly. This one's very stiff as well. Takes a little while, just keep backing it off. I can tell. The radiator is held in by these two big metal clips, and that sort of sits in the side here, and you have this little loop on the end, which I just sort of pulled up using a little pick like that, just to get something underneath the loop. Just pulled it up slightly, and then you've got to push it outwards through that little hole that it sits in. And then it just sort of falls away. It just fell to the side, actually, into the space behind the headlamp housing. So let's have a go on the other side. Similar story. Try the other one. And just push it through that gap. Try that again. Push that down. There we go. And she's out, and I will retrieve that in a minute. Now, let's just see if the radiator will lift out. Right, now, so everything's undone. Clips are out, but she is very firmly wedged in there. But the radiator was so stuck in its mount that I just had to resort to jacking it. Now, this jack does not go very high, so I think I've reached the point where I don't think I can get any more out of it, but as you can see, that is now slowly protruding out of the top, and it's come loose on that side. Yeah, I've reached maximum elevation on that, so hopefully that's just cracked it off enough to get it out. One mistake actually I did just make was I kind of got the fan shroud jammed on the bottom of the protruding pipes, which I think is partly why the oil cooler side was so difficult to get off. Actually, it's because the shroud is just caught on that longer pipe off the bottom of the radiator. I just need to just move it back out of the way, and that actually should come out more easily now. There she is, off the car. Shroud's off, so now I just need to get in down there and see what the damage on that chassis leg is. And yeah, especially since I'm going to be down here welding and everything, I'm just going to tape up all those the oil lines and the transmission lines and all the rest of it, because we don't want to contaminate those. I mean, just look at, oh god, look at all that sludge in the coolant hose. That is a bad sign.